today.
What? He hasn't even.
No,
You're
no.
just gonna dive.
I'm
You're just
diving.
diving.
It's relevant to us signing on.
Okay.
I missed something
They're not
yesterday.
even here yet, and you're doing it.
I missed something yesterday
Okay.
because I had gotten an email notification
Uh-huh.
saying it was going to take place December 23rd.
Uh-huh.
And I said, oh, that must be next week.
Uh-huh.
But
it isn't. No, that'll be tomorrow.
and now today is December 24th, right?
Yeah, nailed it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, this is better. Okay. All right. I'm trying Safari today
Oh,
to see if the browser fixes that because I've given up on technology, guys. Happy Maltinmas. Thanks, Nicole. Oh, man, I don't know how. Nicole, I showered and it was wonderful. I just need you to know that. I just need you to know that. My husband has a few days off, which means that I actually get to like eat a little bit and sleep a little bit and possibly eat a shower, which if you have a small human, doesn't happen very often. So I could have spent more time preparing myself, or I could have bathed. And I'll be honest, I went for bathe. You're welcome. Hello from Birmingham. It's Maltin time again. Yes, it is, Jerry. Nice to see you. They've changed the font on the new Instagram, but I only see it on your phone, and it's throwing me. Its newness is throwing me. Hi, everybody.
hello.
Hello.
Happy Christmas Eve.
Happy Christmas Eve. We were talking about it the other day. Normally for us and for my entire life and your entire life, this is usually the most boring time of year for us. I know you're in Alabama, not England, Jerry. I know. Because normally means all my friends can't hang out because they are celebrating. And obviously work tends to screech to a bit of a halt. So normally this is the quietest time of year, and I get bored, especially when I was younger, because there was just nothing. Now, as I mentioned, I married into Christmas, which was an excellent choice on my part. And so my husband's first Christmas here, which is probably 6 or so years ago, where he was going to be here and not in the UK, my mom and my dad, mostly my mom, who also was desperate for Christmas, was like, it's only fair to Scott that we have Christmas here. And I think before my dad could argue, she'd bought a tree. So we started having Christmas, but a very late sort of, as I say, most people, it's Christmas Day in Australia. Well, Merry Christmas to you.
And don't get a sunburn.
Don't get it. We had Christmas in Australia and New Zealand some years ago, and it was very funny seeing all of the Santa Clauses shorts and Hawaiian shirts because it's too damn hot. Anyway, so now that we have sort of Christmas, which we started doing. My husband and I cook sort of the traditional British dinner together for everybody, and a few friends come over. And I will say the very first year we did it, where I was most impressed is my parents managed to put presents under the tree. And I said to them both, I was like, this is impressive. Like they really thought about it. And they put presents under the tree. I made sure to have, I don't like using because sometimes, well, Arthur, I'm sorry that technology hates us all. I make sure that we have British chocolate. There are certain things that my husband is very much used to, and that's definitely one of them. So he has British chocolate in the morning. It's Cadbury, of course. And then usually we make Bucks Fizz, which is what they call mimosas.
Oh.
So my parents and Scott start drinking at 10 a.m. And I start cooking, and it's a good day. So there. Oh, Evanier, I have the feeling that Leonard Maltin's Christmas tree would have a 1-star movie at the top. You know what, Mark? If he was more creative, that would absolutely be the tree. I am slightly upset now that you haven't done such a thing.
I haven't invested in the tree.
See, if we had grown up with Christmas, we would have tested out the various methods.
Yes.
But since we are so late game, the Christmas game, it's a bit different. A question to Facebook, YouTube: are we facing the right direction? because I purposely did the switch thing again that should have us in the right direction. Let me know. I'll hold up
You can read
something.
the Mickey
You
Mouse.
need to hold up something with words.
No, right there, over your head.
Here, Kleenex. Does it say Kleenex or Kleenex? You can tell me which one it is. Yes, Nick, we're facing the right way. Yes, we're facing the right way. I really hope it is. 1 second. Was just browsing my 1998 Maltin movie guide on my coffee table. Just wanted to say thanks for those books. Still love them. Pre-internet, they were golden. Happy holidays and greetings from Finland. Well, hello in Finland to you, my friend.
One of my top 10 movies this year is Finnish.
That's right.
From Aki Kaurismäki.
Yeah.
It's called Fallen Leaves.
Yeah.
Wonderful film.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting that a number of foreign or not in the English language or whichever version of that you would like, a number of them have gotten real attention this year. And I always find that exciting because one of the things that you hear constantly is that people can't do subtitles. It's too confusing. Well, yes, there are times when you don't necessarily want to do a subtitle movie. If you just want to relax, you don't feel like it, that's okay. But other times I have faith that you can figure it out and read the subtitles. James, Jenny, I need Jenny to come decorate here. My friend Jenny is one of those really annoying people who whatever she does, it looks perfect. You know those people? Her tree and her presents and everything else are stunning. And I mean stunning. And I really, really, really wish that she would just decorate our entire house. That would be lovely for me. I also love those deer, those beautiful, I don't even know how to describe them, but the deer you have in your front yard, they're just gorgeous. Still yet to see it. Hopefully it makes it to the Oscars. Fallen Leaves could. There's always a chance. You never ever know. What is the year's best documentary? Asks Jerry.
That's a subject of some debate.
Okay.
One of them is 20 Days in Mariupol.
Yes.
Really hard-hitting, very immediate account by an Associated Press reporter in a port city, a crucial strategic port city in Ukraine. And it's essentially his day-to-day coverage, video coverage of what's happening in this city, where, contrary to Russian propaganda,
things aren't great.
They're bombing civilian residences, and it's a really properly upsetting film. But again, told with an immediacy about this is happening right now. And running through it is the thread of this fellow who I can't remember, I'm sorry, trying to get the footage.
His name's I can't remember, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Trying to get the footage out.
Yeah.
Finding someplace with an internet connection because all the electricity goes out. Because he wants to show the world what's really happening.
Yeah. And that's particularly stressful since that's the case for a lot of people around the world, which is
it's a very gripping film. There are many other good documentaries this year. A wonderful documentary about Little Richard came out earlier this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Several people have mentioned it.
Yeah. No, there seem to be a number of docs that have people in their grips, which is always interesting. I say it over and over again. Documentaries are my favorite. I haven't, obviously, I don't really get to watch anything at the moment. But when I get a chance, that tends to be what I put on. There's so much, man, there's so much that we couldn't make up if we tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry, it's super fun to be Jewish right now. I recommend it to everyone.
But he did participate for the first time, really.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
In lighting the Hanukkah candles.
If you follow me on Instagram and you watched any of the videos that I share, Daisy's biggest issue with the menorah was attempting to blow the candles out. Now, she's not wrong. Generally, a candle appears in front of you, perhaps on a cake. You go, and it goes away. Daisy was thinking that that is how that's supposed to work for menorahs as well, which meant me moving the candles around the kitchen to get them away from her, and her chasing me around, climbing on things to try to get to them, and then going, which is how a 2-year-old blows. It was an adventure. Very exciting to share some of this with her. I was thinking about that, the song specific during Hanukkah, because I realized I'd never seen it written out before. Like, I must have in Hebrew school when I was really little, must have seen it written out. But you, like everybody else, you kind of memorize things. If your parents sing a song over and over again, you memorize it. Well, to be 37 years old now, and I realized that I've known how to sing this particular song because my mom sings it every year. It's the blessing over the candle, the menorah. And now we're teaching it to Daisy. And I go, oh, wow, that is how that is supposed to work, is you teach them something. And then hopefully they pass it on to their kids. So yeah, that's a neat experience, sort of going, well, now you're going to start to learn this song. And she loves music and she loves learning songs. So she'll pick next year. She'll probably be able to sing some of it.
She, of course, is a child of 21st century technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesse brought home a Mickey Mouse diorama made out of plastic that plays 3 Christmas carols.
It's like 5, and she knows to skip through.
She knows how to skip to a partridge in a pear tree.
She only likes partridge in a pear tree. And so she just skips through them to get back to that one. It's very impressive.
She understands that it's a rotation.
Yes, Sean, I am 37. I am an old lady, Sean. I am 37. He thought I was in my mid-20s. Thank you, Sean. No, it's all the plastic surgery. It keeps me looking young. Well, this is the thing. My grandparents, my dad's parents, didn't age much.
No wrinkles.
And this fella who just turned 73 last week on December 18th, also not much for the aging. So fingers crossed, I will look like this, since I already do look a lot like this face. Hopefully I'll get to 73 and look like you and have very few wrinkles. You still have baby hands. That's Mercy's favorite thing.
Well, yeah, they've never done a day's honest work.
We call them babes. We do, Trevor, you're right. We do have some tasty looking menorahs. I agree with you. What can kids? They do what's logical. Hey, there's a candle. Let's blow it out. We argue with that. Jerry, have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon. He's back to work. Leonard doesn't look a day over 72. I could not agree more, Stephen. Not agree more. It's you're a baby face. Always have been, always will be. And the few times that we've accidentally shaved your beard too low, you really look like a baby face. I should get that picture. No, I won't. I won't torture you with that picture. We should show mommies, though. Cousins just sent photos. I gave you photos the other day from their wedding, and you're how old in the pictures?
11, 12,
yeah.
Something like that.
And we just look the same because we just... Oh man, what have you guys been watching?
Hang on now.
Sorry.
A couple things.
Sorry. Yeah, are you gonna do your voice lessons? You've got that.
Okay.
Hang on, hand me the voicey things for 1 second, because I just love this. So, because my dad has Parkinson's, which we've talked about, there are a handful of things that can happen to your body, as it is indeed a degenerative disease. And I've got like 7 different degenerative diseases. So again, we always match. And one of the things you have to be really careful of is your speech. Because it sounds more and more like your father, a bit slurry. And also just, it's for the health of the voice, for the vocal cords, all of that. So he gets to sit and do these. And I love listening to it. It's exactly the sort of thing that you would think. Tate tito tu, ra re re. You also, I can hear sometimes going, ha! But why yes. But it's amazing how those things, it can seem so small, but it's vital and makes a difference. Who knew? Can you talk about the color purple now? Did it open?
No,
We can't
opens
talk about
tomorrow.
it till it opened, Craig.
No, they lifted
Yeah.
the
Oh, did
20,
they?
the 23rd.
Okay, then tell him you didn't like it. Ha! Sorry,
I didn't dislike it,
you didn't dislike it,
but
but
it didn't do anything for me.
yeah,
Now, I'm not the target demo.
yeah.
We saw it with an audience, an invited audience, and with a lot of people, a lot of African Americans in the audience that night.
Mm-hmm.
And they were loving it.
Yeah.
And now, and I said, well, just me then. I mean, I'm not the
But Mama
right.
didn't love it either.
No. But then, quite by chance, we turned on TCM and they were showing the original film, the Steven Spielberg film from 1985.
Yeah.
With an impossibly young Whoopi Goldberg.
Yep.
And
Yep.
equally impossibly young Oprah Winfrey. And we watched it, and it really pulled us in a way that this new one didn't. Not that there aren't a lot of talented people in the new one. There
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
But it's truth in advertising to say it's a reimagining
Yeah.
of the original. It's kind of like a greatest hits medley. But it, like a lot of medleys, it sort of skims the surface.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily dig deep. I mean, Coleman Domingo is pretty frightening as the abusive,
Yeah. Yeah.
character that Danny Glover plays him. It's well done. I didn't find the songs memorable. They work in context for the most part.
Well, here's the thing, though, because I had said this to you. I guess the reason why they didn't use Cynthia Erivo or more of or some of the people who were in the Broadway cast recently. In Cynthia's case, I think it's because she's filming Wicked. That's a guess. I have no idea, but that's my guess, is that she's doing Wicked while she wasn't in this. But I showed you yesterday that clip of them, of
Yeah.
one of the numbers, and it's pretty great. So I don't know if they just missed something. I have a few who've seen it and didn't like it. So I'm interested in that. They put songs in the remake. Yeah, I guess this is the musical version of the film. Yes, Mabel?
This is the film version of the Broadway musical based on the movie and the book by where it all began.
I really hope that entire thing's in the title. Because it's like my favorite, which is what's it called? Based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. You had to say the whole time, and it just brought me joy. So I now hope that when you see Color Purple, it's the Color Purple musical based on the film as well as the book by this So
okay. I'll tell you what is in theaters tomorrow.
Yes.
That is worth getting up and going to see in a theater.
Yes.
That's Michael Mann's Ferrari.
You out.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
And I just saw an ad for it yesterday where they quoted 4 other great directors. Guillermo del Toro,
Yeah.
David O. Russell, David Fincher, someone else, and Denis Villeneuve, all talented filmmakers, about how they are with Ferrari.
Yeah.
And we were lucky we got to see it in a theater, in a great one of the Academy theaters. And Michael Mann was there for Q&A with Denis Villeneuve afterwards. And I'm so glad we saw that because it really deepened our appreciation for what we had just witnessed on screen. Adam Driver, no one's talking about him for Oscars. I don't know why.
That's a weird. I've been
And Penelope Cruz, I've seen her.
Yeah, she's been mentioned.
He plays Enzo Ferrari.
Did they wait too long? Is that with Ferrari? Did
Maybe.
They wait too
I don't
long?
know. I don't know.
You know, if you join us regularly, we talked last week about how strange it is sometimes the way that business side of all of it works. And again, really, when it comes to awards, it's business. And exactly like you were just saying, you don't know why Origin, Ava DuVernay's
Yep.
film, is not getting the attention, though people are saying great things about it. But
Yeah.
I think they waited too long. I think that this is one of those where you need to be a November movie. You need to be October, November, because otherwise I just feel like the talk doesn't talk enough.
Or
You know?
that can work both ways.
No, it can.
The holdovers.
Something can.
Alexander Payne's The Holdovers.
Yeah.
It's a November movie.
Yeah.
And already it's not getting, it got very good reviews.
Well, but I mean, Divine Joy Randall's getting attention,
Yes.
and the young man who's the
Randolph.
lead. Sorry, I keep saying that. Divine Joy Randolph. I think it's very strange that Alexander's not being talked about because people, even just in a review, to say that he did a great job, because he always does. You know, he even says he wishes he would make more movies. He wishes that he could make more movies, but he just doesn't work fast. And it's because everything he does is really crafted and he cares really deeply.
He talked about how long it took to cast.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to get just not only the right actors,
yeah,
but the right faces.
Yeah. Which is something that he is known for. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's gone now. Okay, you can use the game. Well done. Sliding first. 1 second.
I usually don't use notes, but I didn't want to leave out things I need to talk about. The other film that opens tomorrow, the other prominent film opens tomorrow, is George Clooney's The Boys in the Boat.
Yeah. Which
is okay.
Yeah.
But
was Mommy the same?
Yeah.
Same.
We both felt
you liked, but it sort of was okay.
It's an underdog movie.
Yeah. Okay.
About a rowing team from the University of Washington.
Yeah.
In the 1930s. That ends up, no spoiler here, but ends up going to the Olympic Games in Munich in 1936. And you'd think that with Joel Edgerton.
Hi, Steve. Have a good Christmas with your family, honey. Hi, both dogs.
Hi, dogs. Hi, dogs.
Hi, guys. Oh, Logan, you're gonna climb up. Hi, Megan. Hi, guys. Look, come here.
We interrupt this program already in progress.
To be smothered by dogs. To be smothered by dogs. What are you doing? Anyway, you didn't think it was great.
No.
And that's unfortunate.
There's something missing.
Mm-hmm.
There's something missing. Whether it's as in his other films like The Tender Bar.
Yeah, you were saying this. Yeah.
His films, they don't have an edge.
Well, I said to you, what does he need?
Yeah.
As I said to you, what do you think it needed? Because just like you say with certain people, you wish that they had a this or a that. Like I feel with Judd Apatow, he needs someone who can really edit him. He needs somebody who can, with a very firm hand, edit him. Because I like a lot of what he does. The problem is he doesn't, it's that kind of thing where it's like, it's funny and then it's not funny anymore. Or it's touching and then it's not touching anymore, because if you keep doing it, it doesn't, that's how I always feel with him. Craig's saying, I didn't care for the score of The Color Purple, but I'm a Kern, Gershwin, Porter, Rogers, Arlen, Sondheim kind of guy. That would just be called good taste, Craig. That would just be called good taste. We went down a bit of a click hole yesterday on YouTube. My husband took my daughter out and we were sitting upstairs and turned off Coco Melon, which is the devil. If you don't know what it is, you're living a better life. But turned it off. And so we just started sort of looking at YouTube videos of great performances and numbers, live performances of numbers of Company and Being Alive. It's just.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's.
The original Broadway cast is like.
That's the documentary done for television by
so
Leacock
good.
and Pennebaker.
It's so good. If you've never seen that before, it's so good. Callie Kid saying Adam Driver is the modern day Gregory Peck, and he's so good every time that he makes it look easy. I wouldn't disagree. I mean, I think he's really, really good. I like when he has a sense of humor. Actually, very funny. And if you see him do stuff, he has a real sense of humor about himself. Every time he's hosted SNL, he's been really good. He laughs at himself. You know, he doesn't take himself seriously. And I appreciate that about him because sometimes he can come across as taking himself too seriously. But no, I think he's
He's
really
so great.
talented.
He plays Enzo Ferrari
Yeah.
in 1957, when most of the
Yeah.
film takes place. And God, Michael Mann, who is 80 or 81, has been working on this for 30 years, trying to get it made. And someone asked, maybe Denis Villeneuve asked, where'd you find all the cars?
Yeah.
They made them.
Wow. Jeez.
They made replicas of the 57 race cars that Ferrari manufactured.
The budget.
Wow.
The budget. I can't even
And the use of sound.
Yeah.
Just staggering. Now, 2 nights ago, we watched Society of the Snow.
Yes.
By J.A. Bayona, the very talented Spanish filmmaker who made possible another gripping true life story.
Ooh.
If you've never seen that one, wow.
Prepare to cry a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor and Tom Holland.
It's really, I think it was his first movie. It was Tom Holland's first movie. And it's just,
it's about the tsunami. It's about the aftermath of the tsunami in Thailand, right?
Tom's saying, season's greetings to my favorite professor, best class at SC. Thank you.
Oh, isn't that nice? That's a nice compliment. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much.
But yeah, oof.
And last night, we watched.
No, you watched Snow, Society of Snow, which knocked you both out.
Yes. There's a film that's long that doesn't feel long because the story is so gripping. This is the same story that was told in a movie in the early 90s called Alive.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you guys are having issues on YouTube. I don't know why. It's, again, I don't know anymore. If it stays, please try one of the others. I say we're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So if you want to try one of those, I'm so sorry it's not working right on YouTube. But yes,
Craig, I agree with you. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind and especially Good Night and Good Luck are Clooney's best movies as director.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's another one. And that's why he and Alexander Payne get on so well. They're similar in that they care very deeply. I mean, he puts his all into his movies. It's apparently they just need something. Issues on, I give up. Issues on Facebook. Just gonna go crawl into a beautiful little hole. I give up. All of them.
The other film I watched, we watched, I was intrigued by the cast and the vibe of the what I thought was the vibe called Memory, starring Jessica Chastain and Peter Sarsgaard.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the reviews this morning. It reviewed as 91 on Rotten Tomatoes.
And you don't know.
I don't know.
Happened.
Sometimes, now this is me talking. I'm a supposedly professional film critic. Sometimes I'll read a review, and people say this to me all the time, and you wonder, same movie.
Yeah.
Did we see the same movie?
Yeah.
Because this movie missed what.
And again, mommy felt the same way. There you go.
What the characters do at certain junctures of this movie make no sense.
Hi, Mr. Leonard. My name is Anton. I am 58 and I am from Slovakia.
Well, greetings.
Hello, Anton. It's glitchy on Facebook. Man, guys, I swear I'm going to, in the week coming, because it is quiet time, I'm going to try switching different service and see if that helps us. If not, then I'll just have to go back to using devices, which is fine. We will just make it work because that's why it's 3 devices, because that way they can't all crash.
Theoretically.
Yeah, tricky. Didn't Alive just get into the National Film Registry?
I don't think so.
So, no say. Yeah, Society of the Snow. If you've seen Alive, I've watched it so many times over the years. You don't think you saw it back in the day. It's interesting, definitely interesting, to sort of see a different take on it, and to see sort of what they do. So I'm interested. I want to watch it for sure. Love your work, Leonard. What are your thoughts on Maestro?
A great movie with a staggeringly great performance. Well, two great performances. Carey Mulligan is terrific and is almost, I don't use this term very often, a shoo-in as an Oscar nominee for Best Actress.
Yeah.
But what Bradley Cooper is staggering, to reuse the word, to give that great a performance when you also have to direct yourself and everybody else in a script that you wrote with the partner, and to get it all right, and to take chances and not play it safe. It's an incredible achievement.
But you know what Josh Clement was telling me, and I didn't know this, but I guess Jake Gyllenhaal has been trying to do a Leonard Bernstein film for a long time, but couldn't get the family to agree. So I wonder what was different. You know, he follows all that stuff much more than I do. He pays attention to everything. Right. But yeah, just kind of bonkers. Happy holidays all, and the very same to you. Again, I really can't believe that tomorrow is Christmas. I don't know how it's the end of the year. I don't know anything. It just feels kind of impossible.
Now,
you know,
we're all going to get a Christmas present, because on January 1st, as for just since 2019, a whole bunch of stuff moves into the public domain.
Well, exciting times for us all.
Well, you've all read about Mickey Mouse and Steamboat Willie going into the public domain. And that does not mean that you can sell Mickey Mouse T-shirts with impunity. It does not mean.
I mean, they will, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, that's not what it means.
Yeah,
it means that the film itself is domain. You can copy it now and show it anytime, anywhere, any place. And it means that this is subject to interpretation, lawyers, copyright lawyers and such. But it means that certain images of Mickey from that film and Plain Crazy, Mickey and Minnie, are now permissible.
Okay.
But there's a lot of gray area there. However, Ben Hecht and Charles MacArthur's play Front Page, which was remade so wonderfully at His Girl Friday, is going to be in the public domain in another week and a couple of days.
The Cameraman, The Cameraman, which is Buster Keaton, if you're not familiar. Lights of New York, the first all talking picture. The Circus, man. So both Charlie and Keaton are all going to be
major films of theirs are falling into the public domain.
That's wild. I've always thought so. What's really interesting with public domain stuff, and it comes up a lot, and this is what you always say, the reason why there's so much classical music in cartoons. Why did most of us hear these various really famous musical numbers in cartoons? Because you could, and you didn't have to pay for it, or if you had to pay, it was very minimal. So that's why you have some stuff that just gets used over and over and over and over again. And in this case, what you're starting to get is maybe you could have a photo of Buster in the circus on your wall in the back of a shot of a film or TV show. And you probably could do that without having to pay. That would be like a really basic one. Or again, maybe depending on what it is, it could be playing on your TV in the background of a scene. In a show.
More likely, yes.
You're in the back is watching whatever it is. Could be Buster Keaton, could be Laurel and Hardy. There's a Laurel and Hardy one in there.
Yep.
They could be watching something like that in the background.
When there are gray skies, I don't mind the gray skies. You make them blue, sunny boy.
Wow. Oh man, let's do it. It's good. So these are some of the musical compositions that will now be entering. One is Animal Crackers.
Which means hooray for Captain's Falling.
That's right. Mac the Knife, which already gets used to death. Let's Do It. Let's Fall in Love. Sunny Boy, Sunny Boy. When You're Smiling, fantastic song. Empty Bed Blues. I Want to Be Loved by You. Making Whoopee, another great one. You're My Necessity.
June, sunny
You're
honeymoon.
the cream in my coffee. That's one of my favorite songs. You're My Necessity, which is a great, great, great song.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. Those are written for an all-black Broadway review called The Blackbirds of 1928. Lou Leslie's Blackbirds of 1928.
Okay.
Great score by Dorothy Fields and Jimmy McHugh. Those songs are going into the public domain.
Interesting. Very interesting.
The first year worth of Oscar movies.
Yeah.
Including one of my favorites, Joseph von Sternberg's The Last Command with Emil Jannings. If you've never seen it, Criterion has it out on disc.
Yeah.
What a great movie. It's about a man who was a powerful Russian general who is now making a living, eking out a living in Hollywood as an extra. He's low. He's, from a position of great power and stature. Now he's just like a nobody.
Craig is saying in 1 year, nearly all American silent films will be public. You hit that 100-year mark. Here you are. It's so interesting, isn't it? And then, I mean, so how long can something stay because there's that whole, like, you can re-up for another 50 years. So is it 50 and then at 50 it could go if nobody stops it?
No.
What is
You're all wrong.
What is it? But there is something where you can, like, keep it longer.
Well, if you adjust it in some way, write new lyrics.
Yeah. Okay. Because sometimes the families will try to find a way to keep something.
Do an edit to the film, colorize it.
Yeah.
Add a score, and then that version could be copyrighted separately.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Do I dare ask what you thought of Leave the World Behind on Netflix? I haven't seen
it yet.
Olivia did the costuming on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And she had a great time.
Good. I'm glad.
She got to follow around Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts. That's a pretty good day. One of my really, really good friends, she is not a costume designer. She is a wardrobe and costumer, which is to say that she does not necessarily create the look, but she's the one who dresses everybody and keeps track of however many.
The words are misused.
Yeah.
Costume designer.
Yeah.
Wardrobe designer.
Yeah.
Costumer is the hands-on person.
Yeah. So that's the difference. And my favorite, I don't remember what the film was. My favorite, though, was that she was working with Al Pacino, who refuses to take off his wardrobe. And so he had this white wife beater on and was getting food everywhere. And she's chasing him around going, Al, because he just kept getting sauce on it. Like he refused to change out. And I just love the ridiculousness of that. And I have worked in wardrobe over the years in a couple ways, and it is really funny. Went to that movie in New Orleans, and we had 2 of everything. That's all we could do. I was hair, makeup, wardrobe. It was a friend's small film, and I was hair, makeup, wardrobe on that one. And trying to keep, it kept raining, so you're trying to keep your actors dry, but then you also have to have the other clothing that they're wearing. We had 2 of everything, so it was just it's a fun job and it's nuts. 1 second. Do you watch Frosty the Snowman, the Jimmy Durante version?
I'm not into the Rankin Bass catalog. There are people who are crazy about them. It was part of their childhood or adult. I was just past the age of being interested in
Yeah.
or swept up by those specials. And I know that people love them and they're fun, and people love the songs, the soundtracks, and they put a lot of talented people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Yeah.
missed the boat.
Well, but it's one of those, I always say there are certain
Age
things,
specific.
but that's it. There are certain things where if you didn't grow up with it, you may come to like something or even love it, but you're just not going to have the same reaction
Right.
if you saw it at the beginning, if you saw it when you were growing up. You know, I say that now when I introduce friends to, let's say, whether it's Buster Keaton or Laurel and Hardy or any of that, as soon as I see, especially for me with Laurel and Hardy, I start laughing because I know what's coming. And I'm immediately laughing. I know it's funny and I know what they're setting up. And there's a couple of things that we reference constantly to each other. And I have come to understands, that's good English. I've come to understand that you're just not, by nature, if you didn't grow up with it, as I say, you may come to love it, but it just won't feel the same as you were a little kid.
Yeah.
Um,
Or that worked its way into your heart.
yeah, yeah. Watched it over and over again, and
Many
like
years
that.
ago, many years ago, in the early days of teaching my class,
Mhm.
one Halloween week, I decided to show Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And my guest was the co-writer of that movie, Robert Lees. He and his partner wrote that and several other Abbott and Costello movies. Now, I grew up New York City television, 50s and 60s,
Mhm.
not only their films, but their two-season TV. So they're in my consciousness. They're in my
Yeah.
DNA, so to speak.
Yeah,
And I wanted to familiarize my students a little bit. So I showed the Who's on First routine
yeah.
just to get their feet wet. And they liked it okay, but just you're saying.
It didn't do the thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's so. This person's saying, I saw a Christmas Story for the first time last year, so I understand what you. And that's a perfect example. I remember seeing that as a kid and loving certain aspects of it just because you get it memorized. And the other part of something like that, and very much Abbott and Costello, is you don't realize what things are being referenced until you see the original. So somebody sticking out their tongue and getting it stuck to a pole and that being a whole scene might not be as funny if you go, oh my God, they're doing a Christmas Story where they're sticking their tongue. Same thing when you see how many people do the leg lamp.
Yeah.
It's sold every Christmas. They sell tons of them. They make ornaments of them. If you don't know the movie, then it's not there. So you could see it and enjoy it, but it's just a bit different.
Yes, there's a new stage musical.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Of The
because
Christmas
it's
Story.
the kid who's no longer a kid. He has been the driving force behind a lot of what
Peter
they've done.
Billingsley?
Yeah. He's been the driving force for a lot of this stuff.
Oh,
There's
okay.
is it a Hallmark
Because I know
movie?
he works with John.
Berlin.
He works with
John Ironman?
Yeah.
John Favreau?
John Favreau and Peter Billingsley have been business associates for a long time.
Yeah, he does a lot with this.
Mhm.
He, as I said, I thought there was a commercial that they did, and then I think they did, I don't know if it was a movie or something, but he's really been that kid. People get so excited to see him, and he has those big blue eyes, and he still looks he looks like he looked. So you can identify him, which is nice. Nick was just asking about with public domain. Does that mean that Disney will stop making Steamboat Willie toys? No, they want all the money. They won't stop because of that.
Someone else asked, and Harrison asked a question about what about prints? What about like do you have to? Can you copy a print of King Vidor's The Crowd from 1928 off of TCM, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and then do what you want with it? Well, apparently yes.
Mm-hmm.
And will the studios and the owners have any vested interest in maintaining their prints or doing restorations on films that they can't? And that's That's an interesting. It's an ethical question,
Yeah.
not a legal question. It's
No.
an ethical question.
But that's all. I mean, all of that can get really confusing. And again, this is the whole thing with copyright and domain and what someone owns and what is intellectual property and what is, it gets really complicated. I think often about when we had Kevin Brownlow on the show, because when you guys were talking about the red tape with Parades Gone By and how it's just not, nobody's going to be able to get through it so people can see.
Oh, it's the 13-part series in David Gill
Yeah.
did called Hollywood.
Yeah.
The breathtaking, wonderful series of hour-long documentaries about Hollywood, the silent era, where they interviewed all the living survivors, and they did this in the 70s when there
were more of them.
Not only more of them, quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
But they didn't clear the right. They couldn't have anticipated at that time.
Yeah.
There would be such a thing as satellite TV.
Yeah.
Or DVDs, so they didn't clear the rights and permissions at the time that they might have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And but it's on YouTube. You're not supposed to know this, but it's on YouTube.
There's a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's a whole heap on YouTube. And I'm all for it because frankly, for the most part, it's stuff that you can't get to anyway.
Yeah.
I would feel bad if it was actively impacting someone, if somebody was, their life was ruined because whatever the hell's up there. But it's not. It's just greed. For the most part, it's greed, and people should be able to see it. We always say that's the Destino is in a pretty good version of it. And if you don't know what it is, it's the collaboration between Salvador Dali and Walt Disney, and it was the way that they were able to keep it. I mean, I guess it was in the 90s that they found the paintings, and then found out that the only way to keep these Salvador Dali paintings was to finish the cartoon, and that's what they did.
It was all the doing of Roy for Disney.
Yeah, Roy E. was a good guy, and he really cared. Man, he really cared. And so they finished Destino. The only way you could see it was to buy the new Fantasia 2000 DVD. And it was like, really? That's the only way you have to buy it? Okay. So it's another one where when we first started seeing it on YouTube, it was like, great, leave it there. Fantastic. Do you guys have a favorite Christmas Carol film version?
I think we've talked about this
yeah.
before. All of them, virtually all of them. Although I'm not a fan of Bill Murray and Scrooged.
No, well.
That doesn't do it for me. But Mickey's Christmas Carol, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, the Muppet Christmas Carol, they're all really good.
Yep.
The 1938 MGM film with Reginald Owen is really good. But one made decades later with George C. Scott.
But the one you love
was just on FX7 today. Alistair Sim.
That's your favorite.
1951 British. That's the definitive.
Yeah. Is this? Are talking to each other 1 second. Is Destino there now? I don't know. And if it is, that's great. But I just mean for I mean, when did Disney Plus come out? A few years ago. For however many, whatever it is, you couldn't watch it unless you own the DVD. And I'm with you, Ryan. It's nice to hold. You know what? We love physical media always. And if you wanted that Fantasia 2000, by all means, it was just the idea that you had no other way to see it. And you kind of go, why? So
speaking of physical media, just a little.
Oh, that's good. In 2020, they put Destino on Disney Plus. That's good to know. Thanks, guys.
This is 16 millimeter film can.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have, I'm not collecting any new prints, if there are any that should be collected.
Probably not.
But I'm going through my collection, and every now and then, this is a 400-foot reel inside here. That would be about a 10-minute short, the kind that you see on TCM, like John Nesbitt's Passing Parade, or Robert Benchley. the Pete Smith shorts. Those were called one-reelers. They ran about 10 minutes. So this is Terry Tune, Paul Terry's Terry Tune, Gandy Goose and Gandy's Dream Girl. Okay, well, let's take it out and run it through. Oh, wait a minute. It's completely warped.
Oh, the smell. Oh, the smell.
And the vinegar
Oh,
smell.
the smell. Oh.
The smell of vinegar
Good
is so
grief.
potent.
How'd you find it?
Well, I was going
You
through
just threw
yesterday.
them. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, it's shrunk like crazy. Yeah. Oh my God, that vinegar is intense. Look at it. Okay, so just to sort of, it shouldn't be that small.
No, that's not. That's not.
No. It's, you can see if I hold it up close. Do you see that it's got these pointed edges all over it?
Wavy, ripply.
These.
Instead of laying flat.
I'll just do that. Oh, it crunched. Oh, it crunched. So you see how it's, it doesn't look like it should look. It's like crystallized as well.
Yeah.
Wow, it's really crystallized. P.S. If you ever hold one of these, wash your hands afterwards because you will die. Oh man. Wow, look at that. Wow. So look, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but can you see that it's not straight? Comparatively speaking, if I pull this tight, straight, right? If I kind of try to do that with this, do you see how wavy it is? Even pulling it tight, it's wavy. That's because it can't work anymore. Ay. Well, that's sad.
That's my lump of coal for the weekend.
Okay.
Good grief.
No, don't touch anything.
Good grief.
Yeah. Ah, vinegar. Delicious.
Where were we? I'm sorry I interrupted.
No.
I keep finding things and I don't know how and when and where I got them.
Hey, so it's fine.
So this was mailed from Los Angeles, California to the Indiana Theater in South Bend, Indiana. And I can't read the postmark. No, the date is not, I don't think there's a date on it.
No. No. Just says Los Angeles, California. And then some PB meter and then US postage.
It's Pitney Bowes.
1.5 cents.
Pitney Bowes, the makers of postage meters.
Ah.
That's the one that I ordered when I was 14.
Oh, yeah.
Inside is a giant matchbook that says it started as an innocent affair. An innocent affair, the funniest affair of the year. And that's Madeline Carroll slapping, I think, Fred McMurray.
It looks like Fred McMurray.
Let's open the matchbook.
Hang on. It started as, I like the back or the front. I don't know which is which.
Well, that's how the sentence begins.
Yes, I understand. I understand.
Oh, great.
Fred McMurray. James Nasser presents Fred McMurray and Madeline Carroll in An Innocent Affair. Oh, that's great on the matches. Look at that.
They printed on the matches.
Those are great.
This is from, I think, 1948.
Yeah. Just to show you, they right onto the matches. It's really cool.
I've never seen that before.
Mm-mm.
Wow. I love
Where did you
stuff
find
like
it?
that.
No, I don't mean in life. I mean like today.
Among my paper things that I was trying to...
Among my paper things.
Yeah.
Well, when you put it that way.
Now,
Let's see.
I love movie logos. The what I grew up calling trademarks.
I like this question. What is your dream DVD box set?
My dream DVD box set.
Yes.
most everything that I love is available in a box set now. It'd be maybe an Ernst Lubitsch box set, drawing from the different studios that released his films.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. Have them all
Solid.
sort of collected in one place.
Yeah. Solid choice. Go on. Share your next
Well,
choice.
so when I saw this, a pewter piece with the Paramount Mountain,
The Paramountain, if you will.
now this is before Gulf and Western purchased them and changed streamlined the logo.
Mm-hmm.
This was old letters on
You
your
know,
desk.
letters.
So when the mail boy came by to pick up your mail, you'd have, we can demonstrate.
Ideal show and tell. Did you ever use this at ET?
Oh no.
Trick.
See, it would just sit there waiting to be picked up. This is newly made. I bought it about 10 years ago at the Paramount Company store.
Yeah.
And it's
Daddy, it's more than 10.
no, I was no longer working there.
I know how long you've had that. It's more than 10 now.
This is for holding a script, apparently.
A very small script.
A very small script. But they made this out of leather. Debossed,
Debossed.
not embossed.
Debossed. If Mr. Maltin were going back in time to date Alice Maltin for the first time, which movie would he do to impress her?
Not the ones we saw.
Not the ones you saw. But I think that's what worked. Is that you saw bad movies and still wanted
Not
to be
bad.
together? Not, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so heavy, but I love it. Okay. This guy says the best show in town.
That was the slogan in the 30s and 40s for Paramount. If it's a Paramount picture, it's the best show in town. It's wonderfully detailed pewter doorstop.
Hefty, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. This is 238 of 250. It says there.
Limited run. I never saw that before.
Well, it's also schmutzy and you should dust it.
Yes, all of that is true.
All of that is true.
But I love it dearly. When Alice and I moved here 40 years ago, exactly 40
Where's
years
the
ago.
badge I used to clean hung on the wall? That used to be in the old house in the hall. It was next to the Buster Keaton. Do you remember? It's like a badge on the black
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's around.
Is it okay? I just remembered it because I'm looking at. I just remembered. Yeah, sorry. I used to. One of my favorite weekend activities was polishing my dad's stuff, his pins, or this particular piece he had months needed to get polished again to look all silver and shiny. Anyway, go on.
You used to be able to drive up to that gate.
Yeah.
It's the gate. It's the gate that Eric von Stroheim drives Gloria Swanson through in Sunset Boulevard. It's the original Paramount gate, what they called, I think, the Marathon Gate. And then at one time, so on a Sunday, if you had a friend visiting from out of town, you want to show him the sights, and he's a movie buff. He or she is a movie buff. Two great places to go. One was to Paramount, to that front gate. You could take pictures. It was a public street. And the other was 20th Century Fox, where you could drive a fair distance onto the studio property and look at the leftover Yonkers, New York set from Hello, Dolly, which is still standing. Because what they did was they built it on their actual property.
Yeah.
And they put false fronts on the office buildings. And because the guard gate was way 1,000 feet or
Far
so
away,
far away. Both of those long gone. Paramount, Paramount was, they bought the buildings. Oblath's was a restaurant that was on that street, and Marathon Street, and Western Costume was originally on that property.
Over there?
Now they expanded their perimeter, and now
Mm.
you got to be admitted to the lot to get to see it up close.
When Jessie was a child, who was the nicest performer or director she met? I was really lucky. I got to meet a lot of people, and really, for the most part, they were really, and I had many. I got to meet Donald O'Connor, which was so exciting, and he could not have been nicer. I grew up knowing Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. That was incredible. They were also just the loveliest people you could ever hope to meet. Man.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, but I wasn't little with her.
Okay.
I was I
Oh,
must have
little,
been like
okay.
11 or so.
Oh, you met that great picture of you at age 5 with June Allison.
Oh, June Allison. June Allison. She was wonderful. I mean, again, spending time with Fayard Nicholas when I was little, he was everything. And his wife, the two of them, they were just such a fantastic couple and so much fun to be around. Just really, really, really lucky. There was a lot of people. I will tell you one of my mom's favorite stories, which is that I fell asleep in front of Milton Berle and he proceeded to do a bit about it. What was the event? What were we at?
We were at a friend's house for a Passover Seder.
Was it? Because I remember seeing him on stage at like an event.
Yeah.
Because I remember sitting with some other kids in front of these big round tables.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that was. But so I fell asleep on him. Was it Jeannie's house?
Yeah.
I fell asleep there?
Yep.
That's where this happened?
Yep.
I have no memory. I was very small. But he proceeded to make
No,
jokes.
he was annoyed that he lost an audience member.
Not thrilled that I fell asleep. What can I say? That's a precious vision picturing you with June Allison. It's a great picture and it's really cute.
Well, she'd fallen in love with the movie Good News.
How could you not?
And which just shows good taste. And so
meeting her was very exciting. Yeah. As I say, that really, especially because many of the people that I admired were older and they had what my mom likes to call toilet training. They really cared when they met other people, and they knew how to be with fans. They knew how to give the fan what they wanted. And so I was just really, really, really lucky because they were pretty much always nice to me. There's things I don't remember, like I nearly tripped Jimmy Stewart at one point, and I was crawling on the floor when I guess it would have been 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that, and he nearly tripped on me. I don't remember that happening. He shared his office was next to was he your lawyer?
No, our
business manager.
Yeah,
business manager. They were next to each other. Their offices were next to each other, so we'd see him sometimes. We'd see Jimmy Stewart sometimes. No, I say everybody was really nice to me, and I got to hang out with a lot of those people, and it was just incredibly cool. I realized as I get older, because they don't get talked about, I'm really happy I got to meet the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Like Roy and Dale and Clayton Moore, mm-hmm. and those people. I'm really happy that I got to do that because it's such of all the things that are gone, Western stars are just they're not a thing anymore. They don't exist. So I'm very grateful that we got to do that. Going to Lone Pine was really cool as a kid, and hearing the announcer, which we got to do.
Fred Foy.
That was really cool.
They did a needle drop on the William Tell Overture.
Yeah. And
Fred Foy, who had worked at the station WXYZ Detroit, from which the Lone Ranger radio show emanated, mm-hmm. all those years, on cue delivered the opening of the Lone Ranger. Return with us now. So those thrilling days of yesteryear. He did it live.
He did it, and it was very cool.
Wow.
It was really, really cool.
Boy, that was great.
That was a good day. So yeah, I've been thinking about it more and more because I need to write things down so that I don't forget as I get older, because certain things happened when I'm young and they're starting to get fuzzy. And so trying now to just sort of say, okay, don't forget, you need to write down when that happened. I had tea at Countess Yola's house
with Margaret O'Brien.
Who was one of the nicest human beings on the face of the planet. That was really cool. She was so sweet. Yeah, I'm very, very, very lucky. I've gotten to meet all kinds of people. And because everybody loves my dad, that's the other part is, everybody loves my dad. So they were happy to meet me. Perhaps if they didn't like you as much, they wouldn't have been as pleasant. But we'll see. I don't remember meeting Walter Lance. Did I ever meet Walter Lance? No, Walter Lance. See, there too, like I got, we spent time with Chuck Jones. That was amazing, especially as a kid, because I was old enough to understand who he was and what he did. So, spending time with him, and he's if you don't know what Chuck Jones looks like, to me, he looks like a cat. He has a very animated face. And with the goatee and all of that, I just always thought he looked like a cartoon character in the best way. I just thought he looked like a cartoon character. And he kind of was. Yeah. As I say, when I sit and think about it, it's just kind of nuts. That Esther Williams event we went to.
Yep.
Remember that Esther Williams event? That was really cool. She wasn't was she in the pool? See, here's what I mean about things being fuzzy. It was at a pool. It was at a hotel that had a pool.
Yeah.
And there was this, and I don't remember. It's too fuzzy. Dear Maltin's holiday greetings from Toronto. I enjoyed Hanukkah. Thank you. I met Margaret O'Brien at CineCon, so that will always be a special memory. Margaret was just wonderful.
And is still with us.
Yeah, just wonderful. Just exactly what you want. There's a handful of people who are still around, and the stories, getting firsthand account of anything at this point, especially, from the early days, is really sort of lucky beyond lucky.
Yeah.
And so whenever someone like that, it's pretty cool. Who do you who I always ask you this, but it's like, who today would you love to meet? Like, is there anybody that you haven't met that you would love to meet? Asking him that kind of stuff, because he sometimes has different answers and sometimes they are the same.
I haven't met Adam Driver.
We did in Telluride, but it was brief.
Yeah.
Properly meet him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to
properly
chat with him.
Yeah. He now has he just did an interview. He has a very young daughter, and then I think his son is like 4 or 5 years old, and he was saying how hard it is to work and not sleep. And it was very relatable. It was a very relatable conversation. We all went, yeah, I know that life. That's a good one. I'll take Adam Driver. Do you know who I would love to sit with you is Adam Sandler. And I only say that. So we got to meet him when he was out during Uncut Gems. And he was so nice to everybody. And by the way, I've never heard about him ever.
No, everybody says the same.
Never heard a bad word about him. He really takes care of his friends. He's very devoted to his friends, loyal, and he takes good care of his friends. But it's just, I grew up loving him. You didn't grow up loving him. You tolerated him. But I think that as time has gone on, I think you've been able to see more of what he can do.
Well, yes, he's a talented guy.
I would love to sit down with him. I'd love to sit down with him. Did you ever interview the sole survivor of our gang series, Sidney Kibrick?
Yep.
Who played Woim?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've met Mr. Kibrick on several occasions.
Yep. What was that event? I met the surviving, whoever was still around then. I wonder where that dog is that I have him sign.
Oh yeah.
It's his. That was very cool.
Sydney came to the Hollywood Museum celebration for the centenary of our gang last year, and still lucid, and gave a very good interview.
Yeah.
About his involvement. He is the last.
Yeah.
Last of the movie.
The last actual one.
Yep.
Not one of the made up ones who says, no, they just didn't know me. Well, the Maltins be making a public statement about Alice Maltin coming on the live. I will tell you what, I wanted her to come on today. She's not been feeling well, and she's actually asleep. She hasn't been feeling well, but I would really, really, really love if she would come on next week. So let's cross our fingers, because it is next Sunday is the 31st. So again, I say to you guys, if you would like us to come on and do a live, we can. We're here. And if not, that's okay too. We'll see how the kids are doing. You guys have a lovely Christmas. If you don't, have a lovely movie marathon. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, I hope that you get to do in this little bit of quiet time that we have over the holidays. But yeah, we're all
I'm going to be reading
you,
as many books as I can.
which is your specialty.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody take care. And I can't believe we're almost at the new year. We'll see you soon.
Take care and be kind.
Bye.